Hi guys, in this video I'll be sharing my opinion and what I've been doing during this ASUU strike. Now this is not really a self-development, although it's a little bit of mixing both self-development and then just sharing my own opinion with you guys. So for people that are new here, my name is Pelumi, also known as Kenst, a second year medical student of University of Ibadan. Basically what I do normally aside from this is post educational and self-development contents, and generally contents that I believe will be useful to you as a student. So if you are up for that, kindly hit the subscribe button and turn on the notification bell so that anytime I post new contents you'll be the first to actually see it. So concerning the ASUU strike, this ASUU strike started around February. I remember we resumed for like a week, and I was actually very happy for the strike initially because before the strike actually started, we were on break before we actually resumed for like a week before the strike started. And while we were at home for the break, I was reading ahead. So there are some things that I actually read, like it took me like months, like 2 months or 2 months or so to actually read it. So when we resumed then, because we already heard that okay, this thing will take like the workload for med school is like very, very bulky. So I read some of the stuff before we actually resumed. So when we resumed, like thank God that we didn't even start immediately. But then when we actually started, we did the class. I think we really had class for like a week and a half or so. Now within that short period of time, every single thing I read within 2 months, they finished it in just a single week. Like in just every single thing I read within 3 weeks or so, they finished it in just 2 classes. I was like, God, and I was at the point of actually lagging behind already with the old school before they actually started the strike. So that was one reason I was very happy when they started the strike, because especially for the biochemistry part, this thing I read, I read it like it took me a long time. Even after reading it, I had to reread it so as to like imprint it on my brain. And they just came for just one class. They just finished everything. Wah, 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 wah. It was at that point that I knew that I don't enter. But then thank God for the strike. So I was initially happy for the strike. So I was like, okay, because I think the strike was around 4 weeks first. And I was like, okay, that 4 weeks step is enough. So I was thinking, okay, I'll be given enough time to actually adjust per se. Then after the 4 weeks, then they extended it further. So around that, the second extension that they extended it by 8 weeks, it was at that point that I already getting like very, very tired. How many things do I want to read per se? Because the time is already too much now. And so before I actually decided to actually start making the basis of the break, it was like, I think towards the end of the second extension, that's the 8 weeks extension. Because I was still hoping that okay, they can start the strike. So, and if I had to start anything at all, it will probably take a long time. Like it will require my focus, and I'm very certain that if they call off the strike today now, I will have to definitely like reduce my time, the time that I spend with that thing so as to focus on the academics as well too. I didn't just want to rush into it. This is one reason I didn't start the whole program again. And some of the things that I'm actually trying to engage in is just focus on UTME and post-UTME students, because I know how it was for me. There's some information I didn't know. They didn't tell me at all in secondary school that I got to realize myself when I was trying to like process admission into university. So I'm more like focusing on helping UTME students. So I have like a learning community, Elite Academy. I call it a community. I don't call it like a tutorial center. It's like a community where we have different people coming around, and I have people already in 100 level medical students in other departments as well too, that help me to like mentor the people writing post-UTME and UTME, and then we organize classes for them too. So I'm more like trying to focus more on that, and aside from that too, I'm also trying to focus more on YouTube, because for the past like a month now, I think I've been consistent by posting content every single Monday. So that's basically what I've been trying to like engage in, like to focus on, since I know that okay, the strike will most likely not even be called off anytime soon. So it's just best to just make the very good use of it. And at the same time, I'm trying as much as possible to make sure that I keep in touch with my academics as well, because the sad truth is the way the strike is going, a lot of students will definitely, they are already losing interest in academics. But then the honest truth is that the only way, I won't say the only way, but then yeah, in which that is very, very certain for you to actually leave this country and for greener pastures, like correct greener pasture where you will be living fine, is actually for you to actually focus on your academics. There are a lot of opportunities there. You have scholarships, you have lots, you have grants. And I admonish students to not like lose focus. Like they should not ignore the academics, because I know a lot of people are already making money now. So I know like a few people that are already making money, and they are even praying that they should not resume yet. But then still, academics is sure way. You can be making your side also and then still be focusing on academics as well. So it's possible for you to actually do that. So I think that's just like by the way, Sha. And what else do I want to talk about? So I already talked about the learning community that I'm trying to create. That I've already created it. I started like since around last year, but then I think we rebranded late last year or something. Basically what we do now is just mentor people. We hold classes too, but then for the classes is a paid class, and everything is online. Although we'll still do like physical classes for them for like towards their exam period. And what else am I focusing? Yeah, I'm focusing now more on YouTube, on my YouTube. As I said before, that I've been like trying as much as to make sure that I'm posting content every week. Then from posting a single content every week, then I'll adjust it to posting 2 content every week. And I've for this month, I don't know, in the middle of the night, I don't know what happened. I don't know, this stuff it was like a wave. It just hit me, and I was like, okay, let me just do a 90 days challenge. And within that 90 days challenge, I'll be posting contents on YouTube, on all my social media, contents about self-development, anything that just pop up into my mind. Like, I tried registering for my PVC, was it last week? I went there for the very first day. I noticed a lot of very, very wrong things going on there, which I won't be able to share. But if you want me to share it, you can just comment down in the section below, so I will know whether to share it. But then that means I have to probably okay there. But then if you want me to actually share it, just comment down in the section below. So some of those topics, I actually just plan on probably just talking on them, because this is Nigeria. A lot of things like when you are registering for PVC, I don't want to let me talk about it, but yeah. So there are some of those topics that I actually plan on talking about, and then some topics about just generally human relations too. So I'll be more like focusing on talking about that as well on the YouTube channel now. And what else am I focusing on? I'm more very, very importantly, I'm focusing on like my self-development, because generally before, while I was in secondary school, everybody that know me in secondary school, I don't really socialize. And along the line, I realized that to actually make it in life, because you actually need to actually, for every single thing you want to do in this life, you actually have to sell yourself to people, whether you're a customer or to people that will probably sponsor you or that will invest in you. So, and in order for you to actually do that, you need to actually know how to communicate with people and build interpersonal relationship. So I'm more like focusing on actually doing that. And I think I've been trying. Clap for me. I've been trying. And so basically, what are the 3 things I've been focusing on? Just my learning community that I created for the UTME and post-UTME students. Now, the learning community is not just only for post-UTME and UTME students. I think I extended it to 100 level students. I think we started with 100 level students. The learning community, we started with this for the 100 level students. Then before that I extended it to post-UTME and UTME. And shout out to all the guys, like all the coordinators because I asked a few guys to actually join me as well too, because I obviously know that I won't be able to do it alone. Anytime, if you have a big dream such that you can't do it alone, you have to actually reach out to people that you know that will be able to help you. So shout out to all those guys, Tosin, Afiza, Blessing, Elizabeth, Shewa, Joseph, Jelly Bean, Quadri, I don't miss anybody's name. So I have the learning community. Then I'm focusing more on the YouTube channel now, and then self development. That's very important. And I'm also trying as much to make sure that I don't neglect my books, because I'm very certain that if we resume now, they will definitely rush us. So, and a little advice I have for people for this ASUU strike is try as much as able to not lose touch, don't lose contact with your book, because most people will think, okay, let me just focus on this thing now. When we resume, I'll still read it. But then the way it's structured, the way everything is structured is that once you don't read your book for a very long period of time, for you to actually start again, it's like maybe you're starting afresh. You have to start figuring out different ways. But then, okay, so I think what you can probably just do during this strike is just try and figure out ways in which you can learn better. For example, and during this break, I've tried close like 5 or 10 different ways of actually learning. Because before, when I was doing my A level, I believe that I was nocturnal. Like basically, I'm always active at night, so I always read at night. But then lately, I've been able to like juggle between night and afternoon, and I've really figured out the time that will really work for me. I think that we call this circadian rhythm. I've like figured out my circadian rhythms, and if you're able to figure out your circadian rhythm, it makes a lot of things very easy for you. Not maybe you sleep late trying to study and then you wake up tired and then your entire day will go to waste. I hope you get that. So just try and figure out new ways to actually learn better, so that when you resume, you'll be able to, whatever you are trying to do now, probably you're trying to start a business, or you are trying to learn coding now, a lot of things. That's one of the things I'm trying to do. So I'm trying to learn coding. Anytime you're trying to do, so that when you resume, it becomes easier for you to actually juggle a lot of things together. Once you know yourself, that's what I'm saying. Self-development is very important, which is one reason I want to be focusing on self-development as well, so on the channel. Self-development is very important. Once you know more about yourself, you know what works for you and you know what doesn't. So you'll be able to, you know your strengths and you know your weakness. So you'll be able to leverage on your strengths to cover up for your weaknesses. So I think what you can just do during this period, try and find the ways, like experiment with different ways in which you can learn faster. And apart from that, focus on your self-development and then try and make money too, because that's very important too. So I think that's just my opinion about the strike and about basically what I've been doing so far too. So you can comment down in the section below what you have been engaging in during this strike. I would love to actually read your comments, so we'll just rub mine together. And peradventure, what you are doing might be related to mine, and if it is, you can just reach out to me and then we'll just discuss about it. So see you guys in my next video. And sorry, don't forget to subscribe, please. Don't forget to subscribe, like and share with your friends as well too. Thank you guys.